Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 and the final part of this very long running series that started way back on the first day of release. Newcastle United, we are in the final against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. It is the final game. No matter what happens, whether we win or lose, the series will end here. In the last episode, if you missed it, we did secure the Premier League title with a 1-1 draw away from home against Chelsea, Harry Kane scoring there. And then in the FA Cup final, we managed to beat United 3-1. It was a very convincing win, and it has given us a chance of winning the treble here against Bayern Munich. Now, we did make the Champions League final last season. We lost it against Barcelona from memory. But this time we've got a huge chance against Bayern after destroying Real Madrid either 10-1 or 11-1 in the last round. We now have a huge chance of doing so again. You can see Bayern Munich are the favourites to win this competition, managed by Carlo Ancelotti yet again. We have not played them before while I've been manager of Newcastle, which is a little bit surprising. So this is an unknown test. At the end of today's episode, we'll also do an end of series review of our Newcastle team, who the best players were this season, but also overall, and how far we've come as well, because it's now the year 2021. So we've been going for quite some time, 4th season I think this is. So for this Champions League final against Bayern Munich, we're going to be playing with Keane, Cutrone and Kane up front, the three that helped us destroy Real Madrid. Bakayoko and Grujic are going to play in central midfield, but we do have Modric and Tielemans on the bench if we need them. Masuaku and Fernandes are in the fullback roles, with Otamendi, Rugani and Lemos in defence. Heaton continues in goal because unfortunately Scouffé is not fit enough to start, but he is on the bench if we need him. So let's jump straight into this Champions League final against Bayern Munich. It's a huge match. I said at the end of last episode that I have never won the Champions League with Newcastle. That is still true, and it will still be true if we lose this game. We're at the Camp Nou. We're taking on a very strong Bayern side here. You can see Lewandowski leaving the line with Koeman, Oliver and Zivkovic in attacking midfield, which might help us in our attack. Tolisso and Fred are in the centre with Boateng, Soul, Hummels and Kimmich in defence, Neuer in goal. An incredibly strong defence there, which is going to be difficult for us. I don't really know what to say to them here. I think I'm just going to say that they deserve to win the trophy. I don't think it matters too much. But let's kick off this final. I think I've had probably 10 Champions League finals with Newcastle, and I've lost all 10 of them. I mean, it's at least 9. I'm talking about 10 years of Football Manager, at least, without winning the Champions League with Newcastle. So if we don't do it today, I'm going to be really disappointed, especially after we lost it last season as well, in the final. But straight from the kickoff, Bayern with the first shot. No highlights coming out here. I'm not going to make too many changes today. The team is fully fit. Masuaku just a little bit down. We've not had a shot yet, which isn't encouraging, but we do tend to turn it on more in the second half when we have a slow first half. 20 minutes in though and no shot is worrying. Otamendi winning a header here. Now Masuaku plays the ball over the top for Kane, who's found Cutrone. Oh, there's a free man out on the right, Fernandes, if he'd been able to control that ball, but instead it's now with Manuel Neuer. He brings the ball forward, plays it to the left side, and Koeman has brought that down beautifully. He's got Lewandowski in the middle. It's Lewandowski, beautiful tackle from Lemos there, saving a certain goal, and now we can counter with Keane. He plays it forward to Cutrone. Kane is making the run if he can pick him out. Cutrone goes for goal, and he does put it wide. Very disappointing there that he didn't play in Harry Kane, but we have at least had a shot now. But it does seem like Bayern are on top in this final so far. Masuaku to Keane. Can we create something here? Bakayoko, Grujic goes to the right hand side with Lemos. Fernandes is up there and Fernandes brings it down well. He can put a cross in. He does. Keane is back there. There's a penalty. There's a push on Moise Keane by Soul, and Harry Kane, who scored over 50 times this season, is going to take this penalty. Can he give us the lead against Bayern Munich in the Champions League final? Oh, it's saved by Neuer. Of course it was. Kane has scored, I think, every penalty this season. And of course in the Champions League finally misses it. The corner goes in and it goes out for yet another corner. That's so disappointing that he's missed such a good opportunity. He did get it right in the corner in his defence. He just didn't hit it quite hard enough. Grujic hits one though, and it's just wide of the post. We are knocking on the door. We have woken up. Bayern had the first 20 minutes, but we seem to be in charge now. And we just need to keep pushing. We will score eventually with the strikers we've got on the pitch. Harry Kane needs to step up his game after missing that penalty, but I'm sure he will. As we approach half-time, and the scores are 0-0. Not quite the destruction that we managed against aging Real Madrid, but Bayern are a very different prospect, and it is 0-0 at half-time, which is not ideal. Going to tell them I'm not happy, and they have reacted very positively to that, so hopefully in the second half we'll see a slightly different team. I might be taking off Bakayoko soon, given he's on a yellow card. Keane also on a yellow card, not too worried about him getting a second one, but Bakayoko is the ball-winning midfielder. And I think I might actually bring Modric on for him, because Modric, when he plays in that role, is a bit more aggressive, because that's the style of player he is, paying passes forward. So I'm going to bring Modric on, not totally match fit, but in his final game for us, given he's on loan, could well make the difference here. I'm really worried about Harry Kane on a 6.2, because he is a man that we're relying on to get the goals today. Cutrone has been playing well though. Maybe he can sneak one in. Masuaku struggling for fitness, but playing well. So I'm not going to make any changes just yet, because we could be going to extra time with just over 10 minutes left. Anything could happen. Masuaku now down to 6%. Zivkovic with a free kick. Dangerous position. Oh, I was sure that would be a goal there when that free kick turned up. We've got to take Masuaku off. He's basically dying out there. It's going to have to be Rob Holding, though, that plays in that position, which isn't ideal. Because we don't have Mads Beck on the bench. 5 minutes to go. We've got a corner. Gedson puts it in. It's cleared out by Lewandowski. Cutrone gets the loose ball. That's what matters. He's charging into the box. Rob Holding tries to put it in, and it's blocked. And now Lewandowski on the attack finds Zivkovic. Oh, this could be dangerous. Malcolm plays it over the top. Oh, Rugani with a beautiful interception, but it's come to Boateng, who puts it in. Aaron Gies back out to Boateng. Ball goes in. Muller's there. Down to Malcolm. It's in the net. Is he offside? Is he offside? He's offside. Yes, get in. Offside in the 88th minute as he puts the ball in the back of the net. And we got another highlight here. 89th minute. The game has come alive. It's Harry Kane. Not having the best day today. Gedson has given the ball away. Tolisso now on the counter. I mean, Bayern Munich are doing to us what we did to so many people. Malcolm with the effort. Oh, he's curled it into the top corner. There is nothing that we can do about that. Oh, that's a beautiful finish. We should never have let that happen. We're going to have to go overload and just hope that it makes a difference. But a 90th minute winner is surely going to seal this for Bayern Munich. And I am definitely cursed. There is no doubt about that. We've got just over 2 minutes. If we can get the ball here, we do have a chance. Aaron Gies putting it in. Holding gets it away. Right, who's getting onto that? It is Moise Keane. You should have Cutrone up there. He's looking for him. He's found Cutrone. Kane is at the back stick. Pull it back. Pull it back. Oh, he's giving the ball away. Malcolm. Cutting inside, plays it forward. It's given away. Grujic to Keane. Now Harry Kane goes for goal. Oh, he's put it wide. Why has Kane chosen today to have his first shocker of the season? There's a minute of added time left. Grujic forward. We're on overload. There's nothing more we can do. Neuer clears the ball out. Malcolm with it. Tries to bring it into the centre. Now Aaron Gies out wide to Zivkovic. Is there any time left for another chance? Lewandowski out to Zivkovic. Gedson wins it. We've had a few miracles this season, but this might be one too far. Sewell back to Neuer. Ball launched forward. Zivkovic down. Modric wins it. Now Grujic to Lemos. 30 seconds to go. Kane is up there. Doesn't win it. Grujic, man free in the middle, but he just pumps it forward again. Now Modric, great position, finds Rob Holding. Can he get the ball in? He tries, but Sewell is there to win it, and he clears it out. 10 seconds left. There is not enough time in this game. It's going to be disappointment at the end of this series. The second Champions League final defeat in a row. And there it is. The full-time whistle goes. We've lost the Champions League for the second year in a row. Absolute disappointment at the end of this series, it has to be said. Harry Kane missing that penalty in the 24th minute. He had an absolute shocker today, a 5.9. I wasn't brave enough to take him off and change him for Pinamonte, which would have been the smart thing to do in hindsight. But it is a failure yet again in this series to win a Champions League. A 90th minute winner for Bayern Munich has destroyed us. And it means that Bayern lift the Champions League. We get 38 million in TV revenue. If we have a look at our senior squad schedule for last season and look at the final, you can see we lost on penalties that year. And this year we've lost in the 90th minute to a beautiful goal into the top corner. Even if Scouffé were in there, he wouldn't have saved that. The problem was we missed the penalty. Harry Kane having a 5.9 rating. He had an average of 8 across the league this season, and yet he gets a 5.9 in the Champions League final. I don't know if he's got the trait of being one of those players that isn't good in the core games, but it looks like he's not. I don't know why he's like this. He enjoys big matches, but he's still got a terrible rating in that final. And there you go. End of the series. We've lost the Champions League final. Complete disappointment. I'm sure we'll probably go again next year. I might even continue this save offline. I will let you know if I win a Champions League at any point. But let's do our quick end of season wrap up. You can see here on the screen we had a sensational season. We won the Premier League with 92 points, 1 point clear of United. We won the FA Cup for the second year in a row. Runner up in the Carabao Cup, won the Community Shield, and runner up in a Champions League final. Had we won these 2 games, we'd have been celebrating a quadruple, but instead it's a double, having lost the Carabao Cup to United as well. That's really, really disappointing. Our season overall went very, very well. Quite a few defeats in there, but generally getting an awful lot of wins and not many draws, which is a sign of a clinical team. Now, if we have a look at our squad and sort them by goals, then you can see top scorer by a mile, Harry Kane. He had 54 goals and 40 assists in 62 appearances. He absolutely tore apart the league after joining us for £90 million. He's probably the best player in the world in this game now. And you can see here 34 league goals, 10 more than last season, 18 assists, 10 more than last season. And he's just totally crushed it. There's no doubt about that. 42 goals and 11 assists last year. And he's got 29 more assists this season and 12 more goals. That is just so impressive. Second place, you've got Cutrone. I mean, for any club, 44 goals and 24 assists from a striker would be unbelievable. But that's what Cutrone did, and he was named Young Player of the Year as a result. Second year in a row that he's got 27 goals. Took him 2 more games, but he got 2 more assists out of those. And overall, same number of goals as last season actually, but he did get more assists overall last season. But he is looking incredibly consistent, and for £20 million, an absolute steal. Surprisingly, Sanabria is our 3rd top scorer. He had a lot of game time this season, and you can see 10 league goals, but 22 overall, 14 assists. Less than last season, but he maybe didn't play as much because I decided to bring in Moise Kean in the second half of the season. He's valued at an awful lot of money, still got room to develop as well. When you look at his career stats, only 7 league goals, but 19 overall with 15 assists. He had a very, very good season and was doing the job with his pace, really. And Pinamonte also got 16 goals. So we had 5 strikers all get more than 15 goals in a season, all get more than 10 assists in a season as well. And I mean, he did it in just 18 starts. Gedson Fernandes, our right wing back, was the next highest scorer with 8 and 9 assists. Grujic popped in with 6, Lemos got 5, Otamendi got 5, Holding got 4, and Chris Smalling also got 3. He's moving to Liverpool soon. Mads Beck got 3 as well. If we sort them by the average rating, you can see Harry Kane there with a 7.93. That Champions League final, I can't believe he got over 2 points lower than that. Masuaku was the next best player with 20 assists from left wing back. Fernandes also doing well with 9 assists and 8 goals. Otamendi did very well this year. I told you that he was a silent sort of player. Carmona had an excellent first 14 games before getting that 7-month injury. Smalling and Holding both did very well despite not playing much towards the end of the year. Lemos did well. Grujic, Pinamonte, Rugani, Scouffé was excellent, 7.26 for a goalkeeper, just ahead of Heaton actually. They were both brilliant this season. Bakayoko there doing very well. Sanabria as well. Yuri Tielemans didn't play much, but he did quite well for us. Luka Modric was an excellent loan signing. He's got extortionate wages, but as a substitute he was brilliant for us. And Badal barely played. If we just sort this by general information and sort them by value, you can see Harry Kane at 79, Cutrone at 71, Moise Kean at 71, Pinamonte at 67. Fernandes is worth £59 million. Rugani 58, 55 for Sanabria, 49 for Grujic. None of these players were worth this much money when we brought them in. Grujic we signed for just 8 million, now worth 50. Rugani, he's now worth 58 million, one of the best defenders in the world. Signed him for 47, to be fair, it wasn't cheap. Other players like Sanabria, 55 million valuation, signed for 13 2 years ago. Who else we got here? Gedson Fernandes was a big one, £59 million valuation. We signed him for 19. So all of these players turning huge profits. I mean, Bakayoko now worth nearly 50 million. When we signed him, 26.5. He was on the transfer list when we signed him, and now he's a 50 million pound player. Rob Holding is now a 50 million pound player. The 25-year-old English centre back. For 10 million pounds we got him last season, and he's now outvalued at nearly 50. Lemos again. Masuaku wasn't even playing at West Ham really, from what I remember. No, he was at Liverpool at the time, wasn't playing there, barely played for West Ham. We got him for 15 million. He's now worth nearly 50, a bit like Manquillo when we picked him up. Scouffé 29 million, Carmona 22, Mads Beck is worth 21. All of these players worth so much money. Even Yuri Tielemans worth 20 million, and we signed him for 5 from Monaco after he was on loan at Malaga. So we've absolutely turned around this team. If we have a look at the club as well, you can see this incredible rise that we've helped take the club on. We took over just after promotion, and they've now got back-to-back titles, 2 Champions League finals as well. General information here if you want to take a detailed look at it. That hurts. Why did that have to be there? That should have been Newcastle twice, but not this time. Facilities, I didn't really focus too much on that. We do have state-of-the-art training facilities though. And if we look at the best 11 for the club, you can see Cutrone, Keane and Pinamonte all up front. Kane yet to be inducted, but I'm sure he will, given he's got more goals than most of these players on here. George Williams, remember him? He was great for us right at the start of this series, where he got this first season. He was absolutely fantastic. 17 goals for us when he came in. That was before we changed to the new tactic. He's since bounced around from Hull to West Brom. Fernandez in there, Masuaku. Manquillo was sensational for us. He's now worth just 12 million. We sold him for 35, bought him for 4, but he had that one season where he was out of this world at right wing back. We kind of never really replaced him, as well as Fernandez did. He's not a natural right wing back. Smalling, Holding, Otamendi in there. Heaton in goal, of course, did very well for us. Signed him for £10 million. We definitely got our money's worth out of him. He didn't get as many clean sheets as you would like for a goalkeeper in this team, but he didn't always have the best defence around him. So overall, I would say we've done a pretty remarkable job. We've improved the number of competitions in the club, 2 runners-up in the Champions League now, but we've added 2 Premier League titles onto the 4 that were already in the trophy cabinet. We've added on 2 FA Cups and 2 runner-up in the Carabao Cup. We've never won the Carabao Cup, that's disappointing. But we did win the Community Shield for the 2nd time. So plenty to be happy about in our time at the club. I will continue this save probably in my own time. If there's many updates, I'll let you know. But that is the end of this series. So do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed this series, which has been going on for probably 6 months now. Make sure to subscribe for new stuff on the channel. I'm going to be focusing on experiments in the short-term future, so let me know if you've got ideas for experiments down in the comments, and let me know if you've got ideas for a new series. I'm not totally motivated by playthroughs in Football Manager at the minute. It's been about 2 years since I played an offline series in Football Manager, so I'm quite tempted to do that and try and find my passion for playing the series yet again, because it is difficult and tiring when you're doing the talking through series. But let me know if you've got an idea for a series that I could maybe take on over a short-term period, maybe a 2-3 season challenge, and I could take a look at that as we sort of get into the World Cup period. But until next time, see ya.